Hi guys, welcome to Global Run Day, 2nd of June today. We are with Peter Armistead, one of our awesome ambassadors for the gym. He is an ultra runner and he's here to answer some of the most burning questions he gets asked. But we're going to start with, just tell us a bit about yourself, tell us about your running journey and sort of where you've been and where you've come from.
So I was English, I became Canadian last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, yeah, big day. So I've been running properly for about 9 years now. Did my first run of more than an hour on my 40th birthday. So
amazing.
Definite midlife crisis going on there. Yeah. And I'm 48 now, and since then I've done pretty much racing wise, a 100-mile run every year, and a couple of smaller ones of 50, 75 miles, something like that. Probably sort of seven or 800 milers I've done, and probably about 25 ultras in total.
Wow, that's a long way. Tell us a bit about your training during COVID. How has that affected it, and what have you done to sort of adapt?
Sure. So normally, I'm first of all, I'm really lucky. I've got Gary Robbins as a coach, one of the world's best runners and was a local legend, Barkley, etc. So normally, running for me is focused around the races that I've said. So each year, the one really big effort, 100 mile, it probably takes about 6 months of my life, I would say, to do that. So probably a 3 or 4 month training block before the race, and then a month or two recovery afterwards. Sounds a long time to recover, but it does. That's how long it takes me. I'm 48 years old. Before I was 40, I didn't do endurance sports, so it's a big effort. I mean, it takes everyone that amount of time, but it's a big effort. And then in the other 6 months, I can put in an extra couple of races. During COVID, no races at all. So my training block was very different. It was a lot. It wasn't so. Normally it's periodized, so it will go up and down quite a bit. The idea being to stress your body, really push you to the edge. Certain days, other days, weeks more like. Then you have big rest weeks. I've had less of that, to be honest. I mean, for me, during COVID, I've always wanted to run. So I've not wanted rest weeks. So we've kept the level of running down. I've not been really battering myself, but it's been a very, very consistent year for me. And it's been really good, actually. I've been able to focus on nutrition, sleep, looking after myself a lot more.
Awesome. So, hi. What's your current training program look like? Is it what you've been doing during COVID, or has that developed a bit more?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, literally as of today, I'm doing a virtual race series. I've not done any of them before, really. None of them have really taken my fancy. I love a proper race, lining up there at 4 a.m, headlamp on.
That's what we're all missing.
Absolutely. There's a social element, the competition, etc.
Yeah.
I'm now doing a virtual race, so right now my training is a little bit different because the idea is that I'm doing a race every week for 6 weeks, so that one race will batter me for 3 or 4 days, so
amazing.
It's light training afterwards.
And what's that race called?
It's Gary Robbins' Sixer Series,
Sixer
Coast
Series.
Mountain Trail. Yeah,
Wow.
Sixer Series.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gary Robbins Sixer Series. Amazing. So your current nutrition day to day, what do you normally eat?
To be honest, I'm pretty boring with my food. Everything's relatively the same each day. Saying that, my wife's just turned vegan.
Oh,
so
great.
So we're mixing things up a lot. But normally, I'm quite quirky. So I work English hours. I get up at 3 a.m.
Oh wow.
And I finish work at 10 a.m. So I just everything's front loaded for me. So when I get up at 3 a.m, I just drink coffee for the first 5 hours of the day.
Right.
Too much coffee, not recommended, but so 5 or 6 cups is probably what goes down. Now I'm on the telephone, on my computer the whole time. So round about 7, 8 o'clock, I have breakfast with the kids just before they go to school. 2, 3 eggs, an omelette, and a couple of pieces of toast.
So lots of protein.
Yeah, a good. So my breakfast is like my main meal. I know where I am with that meal. So if I have that at around about 8 o'clock, that sees me through till noon, 1 o'clock, very easily. It's just what my body takes, and it's good. Snacking through the day. I don't really have a lunch. I'll just have maybe like 400 or 500 calories worth of stuff, some fruit, try and keep it healthy, obviously, whenever I can. Ideally, I prefer to take small bits of healthy food rather than big bits of rubbish food. Like I said, I'm not going to go and pig out on a pizza during the day.
You're not getting a McDonald's.
I can do stuff like that every now and again in the evenings, but it's not great. It's just purely for a taste treat. If I'm being, if I'm doing things properly, small quantities of high quality stuff, lots and lots of vitamins, and don't overeat. I would rather not have a couple of pounds on me. To be honest, if you've got to drag,
so you're a bit lighter.
Imagine just dragging an extra couple of pounds round a 100-mile course. It takes me 33 hours to get around one of these courses, for example. It's a lot of extra energy. So it'd be better if I didn't have the extra on there.
The extra weight. So during a race, what do you normally do? You eat food? Do you eat gels? What do you recommend?
Me personally, I mean, everyone's different. There tends to be a standard pattern. So it's good if you get liquid inside your stomach, because you're not, people don't run around and eat steak and chips, steak and fries, for example. It doesn't happen. Heavy. So gels are your standard. And for me, every 45 minutes, I could live off many gels, and that is the right amount of calories I'm getting in. And just on calories in, calories out, every hour that I run during a race, I'll be using up about 800 calories.
Wow.
You don't need to put all of that back in. You always there's always a deficit going on, but as long as you can top your tank up and get in maybe 350 calories an hour, you're doing fine. So that's 2 gels basically. So I have a pattern, sort of a 4-hour to 5-hour pattern during a race, where I'll have about 8 gels, that's one every half hour, 45 minutes or so, and then a bunch of potatoes, so a handful of potatoes.
Okay, boiled potatoes?
Yeah, and I sort of suck them down. It's almost like baby food when it goes down, but scientifically gels work, they're really good, that's your energy source in there, but it really messes with your stomach if you have so many of them.
It's very heavy.
I had I think I had 48 gels once during one race. Yeah, it was a long race. Fat Dog 120, it was 122, so 122 miles in Manning Park, and I did religiously. I had gels the whole time, every 45 minutes. At the same time, you need something solid in your stomach just to stop your stomach knotting up and just have some sort of solid volume there. For me and for a lot of people, salted potatoes are a lifesaver.
That's the winner.
So so I will literally,
you heard it here.
I will literally have a little bag with me, a little Ziploc bag, and in there will be 8 gels. I'll have some salt tablets as well, and probably 2 or 3 boiled potatoes, and that bag will be I'll get that bag out in separate bags obviously, but I'll maybe make sort of 4 or 5 of them before the race, have them bagged up in little drop bags about the place. I'll just grab it. That's me done for the next 5 hours, and that's
5 hours.
Yeah, that's my 4 or 5 hours worth of nutrition inside me.
Amazing.
And 2 or 3 litres of water, of course.
Yeah, definitely need to hydrate. What's the main misconception people tend to have about running?
Probably the wall. Everyone always talks about the wall, how it happens. It always happens at mile 22, 23 during a marathon. It doesn't. It's really, when you hit the wall, you've really just overdone it. It's as simple as that.
Right.
And I get people really wanting to overdo it. If you're only doing a marathon distance and you're in your final couple of miles of the race, of course you charge, your muscles get cramped up, etc. But really, if you're doing an ultra marathon, you never hit the wall, in the sense that we've all seen it on YouTube, etc. People's legs go, they fall over.
They're all like spaghetti.
Yeah. If you get there, that's your fault. You've messed up. You've done it wrong.
Yeah.
Really, by keeping your pace below your burnout level and fueling in the right way, you're never going to hit the wall. You'll have ups and downs, your energy levels will go, your mental process will mess with you, etc. But most people think the wall's inevitable. It's a physical thing that happens to you. It really only happens when you mess up. So yeah, I've never hit the wall.
Oh wow!
You
don't know how that feels.
I've had loads of bonks. But where I've had to just walk, take more gels, take more liquids, and then you can get back into running again. But actually, literally, like you see people collapsing over, or really,
so that hasn't
really,
happened yet.
no, it's not happened yet. Yeah, not yet.
What's the main question you get asked the most about ultra running or running in general?
Why? So that's the question that I get asked.
Why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? And I don't have a good answer to that. It's really, or maybe it's changed over the years. I mean, for me, it was an instant addiction. I was a lawyer in London, and the first time I went skiing, I was aged 20, 21, something like that.
Right.
And I went over to France, first time on skis. I did a black run my first day, and that was it. I was absolutely hooked on skiing. Left my job as a lawyer in London, moved over to Whistler, went skiing. It happened again with running. My first running race, which was over in Pemberton, a guy called Kevin Hodder, a local legend character, forced me to do this race. Basically, just kept twisting my rubber arm until I said did the race. And hey bro, did the race. And that was it. I was absolutely addicted and in love with running.
Amazing.
And then almost immediately I started reading about people doing 100-mile running races, and that was it. Just captivated me. It's like, how can people do this? That's so cool, bizarre. I will never do that. And then next thing you know, you are doing it because everyone
goodness
can do
knows
it.
how many 100 milers.
So yeah,
amazing.
So I don't have a really good answer as to what it is that keeps me going. It's everything. It's the whole lifestyle thing. It's being part of what I do. It's every single day. It is part of my foundations. That's what I do. The food I eat, the water I drink, going to the gym, going for a run. So it's part of my lifestyle.
Amazing. So for all those beginner runners out there, what are your top suggestions for somebody wanting to get into that and those longer distances?
There is no rush. Do not overdo it. Slow and steady is always the right way. If you've seen all the motivational videos out there about you've got to push hard, Rocky Balboa style rubbish, no, forget that. Just try and do something small. Even now, I will quite often go out and do a 20-minute run in a day. That's all I can do, and I won't charge it. It'll just be a nice slow plod. Slow and steady is absolutely great, and just build up slowly and slowly. Try not to push yourself too hard. Try not to hurt yourself. And don't get stressed out about it. It's really good fun, and you will get there slowly but surely.
So go slow, folks. So for the more experienced runners who have sort of done that sort of 10, 12K, how do they push to get to those half marathon, or even 100 milers?
If you're lucky enough, you can get Gary Robbins as a personal trainer.
Oh
as a
coach.
So that's what I did. I did a couple of shorter races. So get a coach is key, and no matter who you are, you need a coach. Olympians have coaches. Gary talks to people about his running, for example. The world's best runners will have coaches who won't be as good at running as them, but they'll bring something else to the table. I've done a load of gym work in the past, and I love using Jack as a personal coach here, for example. It's great to have. So if you can get a personal coach, good, great. If not, there's loads of resources out there. But what I would say, if you're looking at going up to ultra distances, it's a serious undertaking to be able to do that properly and not to injure yourself and burn out.
Right.
So most of the stuff that I talk about with Gary is not necessarily squeezing out the extra few percentage. It's keeping it real. It's keeping you going for the duration. I would definitely try and invest in a coach, get a program, and the same stuff that I would say if you're a beginner, don't get too stressed out about it. Time is great. You will get there. it's, you know, it's a progression.
Yeah, so not expecting to run 100 miles in your first few months.
Absolutely.
So adjoining to that, what's the best way to avoid injury then?
Sticking to the basics, you know, good clean food.
Yeah.
If you're training hard, eat hard as
Right.
well. You know, and I don't
Got to
mean
get those calories in.
good calories.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't mean going and sitting down at Tim Hortons and banging down 1,000 calories of anything.
Yeah.
You know, the quality of the calories is really important.
Yeah.
Sleep is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
I'm not good at sleeping. I travel a lot for work, so I've had a lot of jet lag in the past, etc. But sleep is absolutely key to recovering. Nutrition that I've just said before, really, I've done a couple of diets with my wife, and we've got the diet change, etc. And I've not got in enough calories, and boy, do I feel it in the morning. If I wake up and you've not had enough sleep, enough calories, it's really detrimental. So yeah, I would say a training program, a good coach, and lots of food, especially lots of the right food, especially when you're training hard.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that should get you guys started. Peter is at our gym, always like going for a run on the treadmill. Down here in Creekside. So yeah, feel free to always say hi to me or say hi to him. And if you have any other questions, feel free to message us. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all soon. Enjoy your runs today. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.